All right, so I'm entirely serious about out-thunk chronic disease. This is the problem. It's all in all these different diagnoses, all these different specialists, experts, way down. Nobody's ever bringing and it's just reams of data. It's just reams of data. Nobody's synthesizing. So because you link the ECS, I think you call it ECBS, with the fascia. Now, this, in all of its ramifications, can be Elon Musk to a trillion. The thing is, as you know this, throughout history, the inventions and the scientific revolutions were percolating, right? There's all of the social aspects and cultural aspects. The process has always been disputable. Who really was the one? And the one is the one with the most money. We're gonna disrupt that pattern because we're going to document how I got to. You're the Watson, I'm the she-Sherlock. So I want to make it clear that this is all my intellectual property, but having access to where you've been and having, therefore, the data on where I can explain everything about everything. I have a theory of everything. The philosophical hypothesis of bioelectromagnetism is a theory of everything. It redefines chronic disease. This is where we come in, and this is precisely the swim lane that I expect for you to develop your own best right livelihood from. You can do the science and the math. But before the science, we've gotten things ass backwards. The philosophy comes first. The great book, Mendelev's Dream. You're going to have to start getting up to speed here with me with some of these studies. You're not going to learn anything in these studies. The studies are the data, the tools. And, we have to go back and reference them once we have a great hypothesis. But just looking at the data, no hypotheses. It's a very perverse and bizarre way we think of learning in this culture, which is always saying, well, some old white men said this a long time ago. And the longer ago some old white man said it, the more foundational it is. And unquestionable. And just, it's absolutely how it is. Descartes got it fucking wrong. There's no such thing as mind-body duality. I am a human who speaks the language of the body primarily. And get it? As all energy. And we have enough of a background together that you're sort of coming with me, meaning is language is a prison, and language is keeping us stuck. And the mind-body duality did some good work in its time, okay? But it wasn't the full picture. There's no way at that point could have had the full picture. Now, and very specifically, everything about this singular, the biological singularity. Fuck the tech singularity. Technology cannot handle my power. You notice. And we can threaten, when I get on a stage, stand-up philosophy, I'm gonna threaten motherfucking LinkedIn with a law fucking suit. God. People like us who have to make a living on that platform have got to not be attempted murder by algorithm. I suffered. So I'm going to pay so nobody else has to deal with that. Of course, I've got this time. I go fast. This brain goes so fast. And the amount of bullying, people kneeling on my motherfucking neck. Don't go so fast. The man won't like it. Can't tell the man about his shit. I'm about to be the whistleblower of the Western thought tradition. Most of it was not intentional. By which I mean understanding how quickly the 200,000 years of this species would go up in smoke in 500 years. We've got less than 30 years as a species. And it's going to be a red-headed black swan event. Nobody knows what it is. And I sense into the collective. I have a superpower of understanding the collective of consciousness. It's very hard to put into words, but it is all bioelectromagnetism. And most people start pulling together all sorts of spiritual stories, fables. Most people are just, sorry. When my brain works like this, my left shoulder specifically starts burning, as if I'm just lifting. I mean, it's an immense. It's 100 pounds worth of tension. This is important to you, and it's very important. The fascia and everything. It's very important because where am I at? I'm in my throat chakra. I'm being as vulnerable, but also I'm in bliss, man. If you're there with me, you're in bliss too. If you're not here with me, you're not entranced with the possibility of us evaporating our chronic diseases together on film as we create the theory, the unifying theory of human energy, potential, and well-being. Gotta stay away from being the quack shit, right? So that's body, mind, and soul. The more I use this terminology, everyone just don't talk at 5th grade level. I'm using this terminology because we're just gonna sail through all of the objections and get to, again, your monkey number 2. The 98 next monkeys. All right, the 100 monkey concept is where some monkey does something completely novel, and then they keep doing it for a while until somebody else gets curious, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And pretty soon, once that many monkeys are out every day doing that novel thing, it just becomes part of the species knowledge. It's called epigenetic learning. 2019, right after I prognosticated COVID, I went to the Noetic Sciences Conference, and Rupert Sheldrake he's one of your compatriots. Hope you know Rupert Sheldrake. If you don't, we're going to get to know him pretty good, probably personally. because I've done the philosophy forever. He got banned from YouTube for real science. They just didn't like the results of his real science. And so every time somebody says you should do a TED Talk, I don't deal with censorship. I have too much integrity. But also it's not just being stubborn. It's that don't ban my ass right here, right now, like this. I'm very close to being banned from YouTube. We can't upload. We can't talk about that on film. The Terminator of the algorithm. I can't explain what I'm talking about. This is great. This is like a Hollywood caper. It's like you can't even tell you she's paranoid she's being followed. I'm really being surveilled. Not personally in the least bit. Just generically, nobody's allowed to spread medical misinformation on YouTube. Who the hell are these junior programmers? What do they know about medical misinformation? All the researchers trying to solve these diseases don't have them. They're making shit up. That's the problem. The people who will solve chronic disease are living in it and have done for decades and are doing so very atypically. As us. It's such a beautiful circuit. Early onset Parkinson's, adult onset autism. Perfect. If we can solve those two things at the polar extremes, we could solve everything in between. Be in bliss. Have an orgasm. A mind orgasm. Courtesy of me, like usual. This will bring in a lot of money. I'm scripting every day the episode of how I stay alive. And that's the theory in a nutshell. I'm applying the theory, the entertainment value, the creativity. You want to stay alive in this culture, and I mean really alive, just in love with who you are. This is it. This is somebody doing it. I am certain for the very first time in this way. All there. The full catastrophe, the highs and the lows, which I know you know. Out-thunk Parkinson's. Not directly. Can't come at it linearly. But trying to go it's hard to put into words because I didn't consciously really think through the best way was to evaluate all chronic disease. How my mind thinks in patterns, right? So now that I say it, it's like I always intended to do it, but I really didn't consciously set off the program to do it. But I recognize it now completely. I mean, I did it. I don't have any data any other human thinks like I do at all. And that's hard because that's precisely why I've had so few opportunities to communicate, because what comes back at me 9,999 times out of 10,000 is a non sequitur from my side of the communication. And so I learned to deal with it, and I learned to just to mask is the word in autism, but without ever altering my own thoughts. So I was always pretty fearful of talking, in meetings and projects and things, and I got to keep these so short. Out of bandwidth, I don't have storage, and technology can't handle my truth. This is healing me. Having you on the other side of this video As soon as you're responding, wait till you see how I'm gonna end up. I got a lean body in here, and I'm gonna look like I'm 33. Just by being exactly who I am. It's gonna happen. And you're gonna get as far as you believe you can get. Now, I don't know the timetable. I can assure you, if you get into trance, create a flow with me, the amplification of our singular bioelectromagnetism frequencies, you can change the world. And we knew we were going to change the world, but then we got too far down into the unseen aspect of being addicted to a pharmaceutical product prescribed to you by Western medicine. Now that created a conundrum. What am I trying to say? That's a conundrum. A conundrum. There's a word. Yeah, I just had to make up that word. Conundrums. We were talking about the conundrum of everything. The causal problem we had was the completely unacknowledged side effects of L-Dopa. It's not to say I didn't have my own problems, a lot of them. But that's the one we couldn't surmount, that external variable. Now, you're pretty stable. And this is the flip of the thing. When I came first, 7 years ago, your life needed to be saved, and I needed to be pulled out of quicksand of not having any future but the one I had, which was miserable. Now you're the one stable, you're in the quicksand, your future is exactly as your present is. I'm going to help you, you're going to help me not die. And you need to do anything directly. This is also the thing, this is the medicine. These performances are Socratic dialogues on establishing that Western medicine right now is only based on 1/3 the core human functioning. Actually, I'm going to give them half. They've got half of it correct. They've got the biomechanical and the biochemical. We are going to state an airtight case for the necessity of most 80% of our current research needs to very quickly shift to looking at bioelectromagnetism, the bioelectricity and biomagnetism aspects of the human body, mind, and soul. We're creating all this biochemical and biomechanical dysfunction because of the inhumane and insane thinking of plantation capitalism, which ignores bioelectromagnetism. The foundational root cause, outthinking. You made a lot of progress, but you're alone in the world. Intellectually. Let's keep this very clear. Sherlock and Watson. The thing is, I'm Conan Doyle in Sherlock. which is how it always is. It always is, okay? That double meaning coming through me, and actually in most places it's 5 times meaning. My communications are having 5 times more meaning than the average. People just on autopilot. I'm never on the autopilot of socialization. Most people's autopilots is just the socialization, and this is where the autism people we can't win, is because we see things in categories. We see things in okay, I've learned this is how you communicate with people. But the problem is in this world you never communicate with the same person twice. There's no rules in communication. And why that is, what that specifically means, throat chakra, my fascia's burning. Pain is in the fascia. Okay, it's fascia. This is the angle in which we simultaneously demonstrate doing thought experiments to reverse early onset Parkinson's disease and adult onset autisms. So I can't get this word. You're here. See, so autism is just a physiological archetype. 20% of us are very highly sensitive. And then, the other 80% are not just less sensitive, they're almost insensitive. Socialized, they've been socialized, and all of the addictions, all of the numbing of the addictions of all of them take away sensory acuity. They dial down people's knowing, their access to the truth of their body. I've never denied the truth of my body. That's my superpower. Because the body in the subconscious is the body, and they're just trying to keep you alive. And everything our society is doing, how we're taught to be and what we're searching for, and is killing us. It's inhumane and insane. We're keeping the tiny point, 3% at the pinnacle of human potential, and the rest of us are treated like widgets. Because what I'm asking for is that every single one of us have the ability to be exactly who we are, like the billionaires. And that is best for all of us. The world is could be if everyone's in their zone of genius. And one of the zones of genius has to be is everyone has money for the basics of life without needing to do what somebody else tells them to do. Is adult humans are the pinnacle of evolution, and we're not meant to be told what to do. It's all plantation capitalism. So look, the particles we're going to fix is the fascia system. And I know you can, I got all these theories and they're all great, but you can add the specific data and the references, the fascia and the ECS. So it's an interesting thing that, again, to have a control. We got 2 people, so an N equals 2 experiment in this case, given our specific, that we are trying to solve what we have. We're not just out in the world thinking about it logically. We are saying that we're trying to put our own lives into a state where we have the agency to do whatever we want, like create a symposium in Amsterdam in July 2023 where we announce all this to the world. Demonstrating. You already did there, and now I'm done again. see yourself and myself and our partnership as the she-Sherlock and Watson of human functioning. We're doing it all along. But we just had to keep refocusing our minds down and make money, make money, make money. We were doing everything. Insights occur. Should have been first. And I'm all like, okay, you go. I keep demurring from people when I'm the catalyst. We got to spark my flame, getting these hypotheses out into the world via Socratic improv, right? The whole point of this is you're trying to write something like, now you switch and be Conan Doyle in the Watson role. I don't know anyone else who I could ask to do that, who would comprehend what I'm saying. And I'm going to have to just go. 26 minutes. You ain't got nothing to do but watch these things anyway, right now. By which I mean, there's nothing on earth more important than you understanding where we're at, what we already accomplished, and that we simply have to produce a product for the world right now. So this is the thing. We're going to have communications on the levels of which I'm Conan Doyle and Sherlock, and you're Conan Doyle and Watson, and with very clear that you're the writer and the chronicler. I may actually create some of my own little philosophical Nietzschean, but that only makes sense once you go first and get your fantastic ability at writing to be compensated in the manner that it should be. And then nothing else has to change. You do that, and then that brings in the major media so that I can do the stand on stage Socratic improv. That's what I'm asking you for. We need the 6 weeks of just complete play, staging the improvs, getting on the same page. And then we're going to spend 7 months marketing it together. Ideas and brainstorms and practical. And maybe we find somebody, right, that we need to find that PR person. We need to enlist that third person, that doer, that assistant who can do the PR and marketing, because we're going to both need to rest a lot. We're going to strategize this out mid-November to December. Then we plan for the 7 months, sometime in July. 7, 23, 23. People like to play like that. But 7's a lucky number, is it not? In Amsterdam, there'll be a reason. We'll find some of the consciousnesses or so on. There'll be a reason. We need no better reason that there's a fucking portrait of me in the Rijksmuseum. Hello, well, there's the reason. There's a portrait of me in the Rijksmuseum from 1642. That is the initiating clue to me solving consciousness. The reflection of myself. I 6 weeks of play, 7 months of marketing to get the right people to a press conference, a symposium on bioelectromagnetism, demonstrating astounding reversals of chronic disease as an application of the power of the theory. seeking millions of dollars, millions, 33 million in my case for my education empire. You build whatever you want. Money is so easy to get. It's easy. See, this was the problem. We kept trying to get individual clients. Reversing chronic diseases like we're doing. It's a holy grail. Another funny joke. Get me to John Cleese. Stephen Fry. I love all you Brits. Like, Hugh Laurie is not responsible for this. House is 100% responsible for me imagining I could use philosophy to stay alive. All right, harmony.